is the Next Level Loan Officers podcast. To learn more about Next Level Loan Officers, go to becomnl.com.
Hey everybody, it's Shane Kidwell here with Next Level Loan Officers, back for another edition of our podcast. First and foremost, thank you to the listeners. We've got over 100 episodes now, and starting 3 years ago, who would have thought we would have had 100 incredible guests or more? So again, if you like this, make sure you subscribe, share this with your friends. Again, this is free content for you to help you drive your business and take it to the next level. Today, we're doing something unique, and this is near and dear to me because for those of you who don't know, when I started in this business, I was a full-time fireman, and I started in a slower kind of neighborhood department and then moved to the big city of Seattle and was at the busiest station on the West Coast. For me, learning how to be a lender while working a full-time stressful job, by necessity, I had to learn how to be more efficient. I had to leverage technology, and I'm going into an industry in 2009 and 10 that's gone through quite a bit of turmoil, a pretty big shift. We had to do our NMLS testing. A lot of people were getting out of the business when I was getting in. And for me to define myself, to create that value proposition that set me apart from all the other lenders who'd been doing it for years, I focused on technology. We are here today with one of our tech partners. And when we say partner, we mean that. Like, we don't promote anything or introduce you to anyone that we don't actually use ourselves. And that's key between what we do and a lot of other people. So I want everybody to understand that full transparency. I'm an active client of LenderLogix. So I wanted to introduce Patrick and the team here at LenderLogix. Patrick, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Nice to talk to you.
Well, listen, before we get started, if you could just give the listening audience the back of your baseball card, because you're not the typical owner of a technology company. I mean, a lot of these people get into tech and the mortgage space because they see the dollar signs. They go, man, I can really make a lot of money on MLOs. And we all know we're getting inundated with all these different third-party technologies that we should try. Just tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, man. I started my career as a loan originator. So right out of college, 2002, which is a good time to be an originator. So, kind of slid right into a refi boom. And I actually originated at a regional bank in the Northeast for about 15 years. So we, kind of in the later part of my career, I started to get pulled into kind of the technology side of originations. We were going through an LOS implementation at the bank I was at. And, we were looking around at different vendors and CRMs and things to kind of link into the LOS. And quite frankly, I probably don't need to tell you, but a lot of that stuff just sucks, man. It's just like, it's not, not designed with loan officer workflow, not designed with loan officer experience, borrower experience, realtor experience in mind. So we kind of took a look at the landscape and decided, why are we letting the technology that we use be built by people that kind of don't come from the industry and kind of don't understand how loan officers do business? So we started to create our own software. I left the bank and we started a software company in 2015 and started to kind of create various pieces of kind of mortgage automation software that kind of, had the loan officer and loan officers and realtors and borrowers in mind. So, we've been doing that for about 6 years and creating various products with, kind of that from that loan officer perspective.
Well, listen, if I got to be honest, which I need to be, I really don't want to share your technology with the world. Reason being is because in my market and in my company's markets, we have a distinct competitive advantage because of your technology. And so it's a little bit of a cliffhanger for everybody, but I want to ask everybody on this call a question. When was the last time you woke up on a Saturday morning and you said, today, Patrick, is going to be the day I don't work. I'm going to spend the day with my family. My son's got a soccer game. I really want to go to this, to the aquatic center with my daughter, and man, it should be nice to go have a glass of wine with my wife. And then what inevitably happens to us in the origination business? If you're flying by the seat of your pants, if you're letting the day run you, all of a sudden you start getting at about just the time you want to have that glass of wine, just the time you want to watch your son's sporting event, that real estate agent texts you or calls and says, Shane, I need a favor. Hey, I'm sorry to bug you. Well, they're not, because they do it every weekend. They do it after hours. They do it at 9:00 at night on a Tuesday after you've had a long day. And what do they inevitably ask for? Shane, I need a favor. Can you update your pre-approval letter? Can you send me a new pre-qual? The Johnson family is making an offer and we need 4 letters because they just don't know yet what they want to offer. And they're thinking conventional, but maybe if they can, they'll go FHA. We know we need to go over asking. Is anybody on the call cringing? Because that's you. That's your experience. So the reason I didn't want to share this technology is LenderLogix has removed that equation from my weekend. And so specifically, I wanted to have you share about Qual, which is a pretty incredible tool that I leverage with my personal team to give my agents, my borrowers, the freedom within parameters I set. So it's like going to the bowling alley and having those bumpers turned on so you can't roll the ball in the gutters, right? So within the parameters I set or my team sets, integrated with our LOS, giving the power back to the consumer to generate their own pre-qual letter, pre-approval letter that's compliant, it's been vetted. So talk a little bit more about Qual because it's an incredible technology.
Yeah, man, I was cringing. at what you just said right there because that was my life.
Yep.
Kids at the soccer game, like I need a letter right away, and you're like, let me run to my car and pop open my laptop and get in through the VPN and try to crank out a letter real quick. So
you just said VPN and I just got started, man. It's so true. I was like, because most people can't do it on their phone. So then they got to go jump in their car, turn on a hotspot on their cell phone, get on their laptop. Guys, this is miserable.
Yeah, we were we were selling various pieces of software into the space. We were already kind of established as a software company. We had expertise in the loan origination systems and these integrations built. And I was a loan officer, so I hang out with loan officers. So I'm out at a happy hour. This is probably about 3 years ago. I would say we've had this product out. I was out at a happy hour and a loan officer, kind of just had to cut things short and just say, I got to go. This agent needs me. And I kind of left that happy hour and I'm like, man, there's got to be a better way than this. What if this person could just adjust their own pre-qual? What if the realtor could adjust their own pre-qual? The loan officer was just able to set it up in a way. So I left that meeting. I went home, I sketched out some things, and I called up one of my business partners. We met over at Starbucks and kind of to talk through it and just said, like, I think we could create a piece of software here that would sort of deal with this. So that's exactly what we did. So the way Qual works is it's really an alternative to your traditional pre-qualification or pre-approval letter. So instead of issuing, a PDF pre-qualification, a static pre-qualification or pre-approval letter to your client, it shoots a text message to that borrower. And that borrower has a sexy little interface that they can play around with and kind of run numbers. And like you said, it's all within the parameters that the loan officer sets up. So, for what takes the same amount of time to issue a PDF pre-qual letter, you can text right from your loan origination system, or you don't even have to do it from the loan origination system, but the borrower gets a text message and, they can change the numbers around, run payment scenarios, look at closing cost scenarios. It's super accurate because it's dialed into all the information within the loan origination system. So you're able to kind of just sit back, have visibility into what everybody's doing out there. But at the same time, they're able to do it sort of, on their end without having to pick up the phone and call you. And it really delivers the experience they want. They don't want to call you either. They just want what they want. So, we figured out really, looking at kind of what a loan officer's workflow is. How can we deliver a piece of software like that that's elegant and user-friendly and realtor-friendly, while at the same time, delivering, what it is that we want, which is a little, more freedom in our lives.
Yeah, let me add in a couple points there that the yellows probably are thinking right now. First and foremost, this is not another app that you and your agent have to download. I got to be honest, I am so app overloaded right now. It's like now, and in fact, there's so many apps on my phone. Apple made it a key feature of their new update so you could search for an app. Because I can't even find the freaking apps anymore on my own. I got to search for them. So what we don't want to do is take a demographic, our audience, our agents who are already overwhelmed, slightly confused at times based on just the nature of the business. And because a lot of them are part-time, and give them more complexity. So one of the things that Qual does is it creates simplicity. And I want everybody to write this down. Simplicity equals profitability. The simpler your process is, the more clarity your agents and your consumers have. If you have a good product, it's going to drive more profit, right? Because if I can get them to the finish line in 10 days versus 40, I'm going to have more clients. If I can have them, with a text message and a code, access it through their SMS, generate a letter in 2 minutes, that creates a more positive experience. They go, man, that was really cool. They drive that offer based on that letter. You're integrated in that process without being involved, and it creates more profit, right? And at the end of the day, time and profit are two of the most important things in our business. And the biggest one being time. Guys, if you are sitting on this call, start to do the math on every 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute exercise you do that is a reactive task that doesn't make you any true revenue. Or it's like a $2 an hour activity. When you have that client says, hey, can you generate, what's my monthly payment at a loan of 300? What's my monthly payment at a loan of 305 and 307 and 309 and 325? And what if I put down 5% instead of 7%? What about MI? You get it. How much of your day is wasted, or your night, or your private time with your family to do these activities? It's not a good use of time. And one of the things that we have learned throughout our years in coaching and all the people we've seen at Next Level that are successful is they run their business. The business doesn't run them. And so as we kind of pause here for a moment, I want to recommend to everyone that you all go download an Audible or buy a book called Run Like Clockwork. Run Like Clockwork is all about maximizing your day, building a system, having a team, using technology so the business runs without you. If you don't have Qual, you can't run, the business won't run without you, because now you're the most important person that's holding that agent and that client up from making an offer. You don't want to be in their way. When you're that important, it requires you to work after hours. And I can tell you that moving into 2022 and beyond, the people who are going to have longevity in this business have balance, right? And so a technology like this gives you balance. Now, another couple pieces to really be clear on, this integrates with our LOS. So the cool thing in this system, there's no duplication of efforts. When my team is done, like finalizing the pre-approval in our LOS, they push the data to Qual. They don't have to regurgitate the data. They don't have to copy and paste the data. It automatically pushes the data. Duplication of efforts is one of the things you're going to see being talked about more and more as companies have margin compression, as we start to see more competition from, we call them our kind of those tech companies that are now getting into the mortgage space. We're going to see more and more of that. We've got to be more efficient with what we do, because it's been an arms race for staff the last 12 to 24 months, and that's not sustainable. So it pushes directly from the LOS right to Qual. Then you can create multiple scenarios. And this is key. One of the things that we used to struggle with was we'd use other technologies or create a dynamic letter. But what if somebody's going to look at condos and single family? What if they're going to look at FHA and USDA? What if they're going to go VA, but there's a chance they might go conventional, because like right now, VA offers, even though they're phenomenal offers, a lot of these uneducated agents think they're not good offers. Well, what if you need more than one option? Instead of being able to send one option, then have the agent call you and say, hey, that option doesn't work, you can create multiple options in Qual and push them to the agent and the client. And what I love is it comes through a text message. It can come through an email, but guys, email is really not the primary form of communication for our audience. It's a backup. It's a cover your ass communication. The primary form of communication for most of our consumers now is texting. And so being able to push that information right to text, access the portal, enter their secure code so it's only accessible by them is huge. Patrick, listen, we're running up on a hard stop here, but just give us any other, kind of high level, I would say, kind of features and benefits of the system. And again, being that you were a lender and you understood us better than other tech people would, anything else that you would add about the program or anything else with LenderLogix in general? Because for me, I'm a fan. I use other products of yours as well. We use Operation Fido, which, guys, when you go on their site, which is Lender, LenderLogix, Logix.com. You'll see all the products they have. Operation Fido is an awesome. It really ties in with my client experience, which for those of you who know, I'm all about the experience. So Anything else you want to touch on here before we let these people get back to it?
Yeah, I think you hit it pretty well, man. Like the the ability to remove yourself from a lot of those, our borrowers are out there having these micro moments where they are, they're looking at a house and weighing those things that you mentioned. What about 5%, 7%? What if the, different terms, things like that? You want to be in that room. You want to be a part of those conversations. And if you're not, if that borrower is just out, Googling or pulling up random mortgage calculators, they're picking up cookies, which is going to get them Facebook redirect ads from Quicken for the next, 6 months. So, keeping them in your ecosystem, anticipating the questions they're going to have, because I know the questions that borrower is going to have. Like, I've dealt with thousands of home buyers. And everybody does, right? So if we can put some technology in their hands that we know answers the questions they're going to have, it's only going to make them stay in our ecosystem. You send a borrower pre-qualification through Qual, they find a house, they're financing through you. You've given them the tools they needed throughout that period of the process. They're not going to come back and get steered by an agent to another lender at that point. They're going to finance through you. So if you want to convert those pre-quals, give them the technology to answer the questions they have, make them confident, assertive home buyers that are confident in what their finances are going to look like, and they will, they will come back to you. They will convert. And I appreciate the testament you give. I think you probably see that, and that's why you utilize the tool.
Guys, I love this. So one of the thoughts I want to leave you with, and before that, just a couple of things on QuickQual. It's custom, so the portal can be customized with your branding specific to you. So it's not QuickQual's branding; it's your branding, which is really, really powerful. There's digital business card. There's so many things that you can do with this system. So I just want to make sure, take this as an opportunity to dive in on something that will save you time. My goal with all of you is to help you increase your dollar per hour. Like a dream is to be able to be financially free, to make decisions where you can turn down bad deals, turn down bad agents, take time off, create balance. Like, if you can get a tool that's as inexpensive as this in our world, it's free. It's free because it generates you so much more revenue, time, and balance versus the cost of the tool. So I couldn't be happier with the technology. I want to leave everybody just with a thought. In our business, and I was a fireman before this, and as a fireman and as a lender, one of our badges of honor, one of the things that we almost indirectly brag about is how much we work. Oh man, I was grinding all weekend. You see these people posting online. Who else out there is working today? And we celebrate overworking. It's not something to be proud of. Like, what we equate hard work to, or really being overworked, is more profit. Like, we're more successful if we work more. And that's just simply not the case. Those that are winning, the true professionals, make more in less time. For you to make more in less time, you have to leverage tools. You have to leverage efficiencies. You have to, based on the book that I recommended, Run Like Clockwork, you have to trim items out of your day. You have to transfer skills and items to other people, and you have to trash. You have to eliminate the things that don't add value to your business. The beauty of QuickQual is it actually does trim down the work, the efforts you have to do in a given day. It does transfer a lot of work and responsibility to a system, and it does eliminate things that you would otherwise be doing. If you can find one thing that trims, transfers, and trashes work in your day and removes the headaches and allows you more balance, why would you not? So, challenge to you all is, let's not celebrate being those people who are burned out, having cardiac arrest at 50. Let's celebrate having balance. Let's start to celebrate working 39 hours a week, not 50. And again, if anybody would like more information, it's LenderLogix.com. If you're inside Next Level's sphere, if you're in our family, you'll also find trainings, demos, and quite a bit more on LenderLogix and the Top Producer Huddle. If you've never heard of the Top Producer Huddle, if you feel like you need to take your business to the next level, but you don't know where to start, we have made it so incredibly simple, it would be stupid to say no. For the price of one additional loan per year. I want to say that again, one loan per year. And if you're in a baller city like Seattle, Chicago, LA, it's like half a loan a year. You get an entire membership into Next Level's Top Producer Huddle, live trainings every week, masterminds in person. We'll be in Scottsdale, Arizona in September. You get to connect with people like Patrick, our top producing coaches. It's a family, it's a sorority, a fraternity of like-minded, balanced, successful people. If that's something you want to get more information on, go to becomenl.com, sign up for Top Producer Huddle. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks, Patrick.
Love it. Thanks, Shane.
Take care.
Take care.